Hello.
Hi, Britt. How are you?
I am well. It is a Sunday, so just getting things done around here and there before a busy week. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. End of a five show week for me.
Yeah,
So
how was that?
it's going great. It's actually really going great. Audiences are seeming to love it, so it's all we can
Good.
ask for. And
You
everyone's
guys
safe.
are so lucky you were able to do that. That's so amazing that you like found a way to make that work during this time.
And yeah, I'm very happy right now doing that.
I'm
And
happy for
yes. So speaking of the difficult time, quarantine, how was your quarantine?
Well, it's so funny because here in Florida, well, it's not funny actually. Everything is kind of just open. So it's really up to you what you do as far as like where you go, how you go about where you're going. And really for us, we've been careful since the moment that COVID really broke out. March was super weird because we were like completely inside. Like we weren't even ever leaving. And then once we did finally start leaving to go to grocery stores or even to go support local businesses, like go get ice cream or something, it was a whole new normal and having to go through that. But now, I just feel like it is our new normal. So we are getting through it. Like I still wake up and I go to school every day and have to wear my mask all day.
Hmm.
And then I come home and I do it all again the next day. So, we're just trying our best to make it work. We were even talking about that today. Like we feel really lucky that there are enough guidelines where we can go support local businesses, but we're still
Yeah.
trying to be careful. Like I'm not going out to like a club or anything like that during this
No.
time.
Yeah. But what have you learned anything new about yourself during quarantine? Like,
Um, I think the biggest thing is like I am the type of person where I just go, go, go. And I call these like my like I don't even know how to describe it. They're like what is the word I'm looking for? I always tell Robbie, I'm like, oh, I'm like in frantic mode right now.
yes.
I just kind of feel like I'm like out of control doing all these things. And like, I don't even remember the last time I took a sip of water. So with quarantine COVID, it really taught me to just slow down. Like, it doesn't all have to get done all in one day. Like, it's okay to have something carry over to the next day or week. But I think that's been the biggest thing for me, just to slow down.
That's like the thing I learned about myself. It was
Yeah.
just like take a day, take a breath. Like
Yes.
it'll get done tomorrow.
100%. Yeah, I'm on the same page as you. Like, we all just need to take a collective deep breath together.
Hmm. And now with the holidays around the corner, everyone's holidays a little different this year. How are you guys celebrating?
Yeah, we're just celebrating from home. I'm actually wrapping presents right now. We're gonna try to drop some presents off, and like, luckily, the mail system is still up and moving. So I'm trying to get everything out either tomorrow or the next day, just so it can get to our loved ones in time. But yeah, we're just
Yes.
gonna watch the cheesiest movies. I went on the Hallmark channel. I was like trying to TiVo some or record some, whatever the word is. I haven't watched one yet. If you have any recommendations, let me know.
I just watched Jingle Jangle on Netflix.
Was it good?
It was so good. It's a musical.
Really? Really? Look at
Hmm.
you with the
And
recommendation.
it's a tire cast of color too.
Wow.
So
Love to see that.
it's something really special.
Okay, I will watch that and then text you what I think.
Yes. Um, do you have any like favorite holiday memories from like, years past or
You're gonna love this. Actually, we were just talking
oh,
about it. When I was younger, I used to prep for like 3 weeks before our holiday party for a show that I would create. And I'm like 6 years old, like starting this. And every year my family would come over and everyone would eat. And then like that break before dinner and dessert where you just like need to digest and everyone's on the couch. I would make everyone sit on the couch. I would shut the lights off. I took a bottle of Lysol, which is very valuable nowadays, and I would like squirt that out like backstage and make that my smoke effect. And then I would just like throw myself onto center stage and I would sing songs and dance and tap for my family. And like they made me feel like a superstar. Do I actually know if they were paying attention? I'm not sure. But in that moment, I felt fabulous. And I'll never forget those moments. You probably did something similar.
Actually, no, I never really did that because I was so shy as a kid.
Oh,
I was so shy. And then, like, once I got older and started working professionally so young, I was like, I need a paycheck.
yeah, you do. You're like, sorry, family, no free show for you.
No free show. You got to come pay to see me
When was
perform.
the first time you like ever sang or danced for your family? Or was the first time like did they go see you professionally perform?
No, so I was raised in a house of music. My mom was a choir. She played the flute in high school. So music was always in the house and we were always singing. I got into theater because my older sister started doing theater.
Okay. So it's been around, they've heard you.
Yes. It's like
Yeah.
they heard me in the house, like get it with it. But like I know my great grandfather, he was like in a barbershop quartet and him and I always connected over that. And then like when he passed, my great grandmother was like, Jaedon, sing for me. And she was the only person I would sing for.
Wow. And look at you now. They'd be so proud of you.
Hmm.
Just came from a matinee and here you are putting on this whole holiday soiree.
Yeah. Just to like, give people opportunity to perform.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any like favorite holiday gifts that you received as like a kid that was like rocked your world?
I really want to think about this. Okay, do you remember what an easy bake oven is?
Oh, girl, yes, I had one.
Okay, that was like the highlight of my life when I got it. I couldn't believe my parents got it for me. I made like those like little muffins and brownies in there. That was so much fun. And I never was like too into the computer when I was younger, but they got me some game. It was like a virtual world and it hooked up to like a little monitor. I was like obsessed with that too. I don't remember the name, but I'm gonna go figure that out. Those were
Oh my
mine.
gosh.
What about you? Do
My
you remember anything?
mine I remember when I got my first Nintendo DS as a kid. I got that for Christmas one year and that was like
Oh
the
yes.
highlight. Also
Yes.
when I got my first iPod. I got my first iPod for Christmas. Like
Yeah.
that was like yes.
Yeah, you
That
don't
was actually that
things.
was actually the year I found out about Santa.
Really?
Was when I got the iPod. Yeah, they're like, so this is a lot of money. This is all you're getting. By the way, Santa's not real. This is yeah.
Like it's us. It's not unlimited funds.
Yeah, it's like it's not unlimited funds. You're getting this one thing this year. Sorry.
Do you remember what kind of iPod it was?
It's an iPod Nano.
Yes. Okay. Yesterday, I was going through old things. I found, and I don't even know if there's games for it, if mine even works anymore, but I found like a DS, the little game thing that popped up, and my iPod Nano, the small.
Yep. I have my iPod Nano still. I still have my iPod Touch as well. It's in my
God,
storage unit.
that is the best. Honestly, I should bring that into my classroom and be like, do you guys know what this
Oh
is?
my God. They wouldn't even know what to do with
But they
themselves.
wouldn't. Oh, that's so funny.
They'd be like, I'm sorry, it's not the iPhone 12. I don't know how to work it.
I know. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because I'm like such a weird person. I'm like right at the cusp of Gen Z and millennial.
Right, right.
So it's like I know Gen Z things, I know millennial things, and then sometimes Gen and like the younger Gen Z, I'm like, wait, what? I'm so old.
Wait, I'm dying. When is your birthday?
February 28th. I was born in 97.
Okay. Yeah, you're like right on the cusp. Cusp, is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Right on, you're right on the
Cusp, yeah.
top.
Yes.
Look at
Yeah, I was
us.
born in 97, so
Yeah, look at you.
oh my gosh. Life is just a crazy thing.
I know.
If you could give your younger self any advice, what would that be, Britt?
Um, I think just to love yourself. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but like I feel like we just grow up and then we look
Hmm.
back on our past self and we wish we were kinder to ourselves. So it's like, why don't we just start right now? Like, let's just be
Hmm.
kind to who we are in the moment and love ourselves because I think we're really strong for coming this far. So that's what I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah, I would pretty much say the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
love yourself, accept everything about you, because, you know, I came over that big hurdle of finding out who I am and, you know, accepting my true self,
Yeah. And your true self
especially.
is amazing.
Yes. Um, yeah, because I didn't come out of the closet till I graduated high school.
Right. And you like kept that with
Hmm.
yourself. And it's like if you could go back, would you tell yourself, do you think the time that you did come out, it felt right?
It
Or
felt right, yeah. Um, Pretty much like everyone would like everyone had the inkling, and then but I just there was a time where I was in middle school where it was just like someone asked me if I was, and then I was just like, I don't know. I answered I don't know, and they said, well, you are. I'm gonna like insert expletive there and like mess you up, and I was just like that like scared me so further in the closet because like I was like 2010 was more like when people were starting to accept it. So
I'm so sorry. Like that,
yes,
I wish I could just like go up to that person and be like, "Who do you think you are?"
I
But
am.
I agree with you, and I'm so happy that you felt comfortable and it felt right when it was, and now your story can inspire other,
Yeah,
boys or girls or whoever that are struggling with that to just embrace and love themselves.
and definitely. I always tell people like people always ask me like, what's one thing you could like share about coming out? And I said, no one let no one tell you when you're ready except yourself.
Yeah, you'll know.
That's my biggest thing. It's like you'll know.
Exactly. You're so strong.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Brett. But yeah, like especially like during that time, musical theater was such like an outlet for me to like,
Yeah,
you know, be my true authentic self in a safe environment.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
how did you get into musical theater?
I just, when I was younger, I always loved performing. And it wasn't just like pop singing, it was Broadway. I remember my parents got me a Disney CD back in the day when we put them in like radios. And
Hmm.
it was the first song that I ever heard as a kid where you knew that a sound sounded different. And it was a man, and I don't remember who it was. It was probably the original singer who sang I Can Go the Distance. And that song came on. And I could just tell the depth in his voice, the passion, the certain way he like expanded notes, nothing like you would hear on the radio. Like I knew that type of music was different and I was so drawn to it. So my mom put me in like singing lessons and acting programs. And yeah, I started super young and I just loved it
That's
ever since.
awesome. What was the first musical you saw?
Legally Blonde. The first one I ever saw live was Legally Blonde.
Was it like a tour that came to Florida?
Yeah, it was a tour and I was so young. And I have a picture with one of the castmates and he's like bright
Oh my
orange.
God.
You know how like some people get spray tans before the show?
Yeah.
It's bright orange and like the
Of course,
whitest teeth and I like was obsessed with him.
it was like the late 2000s too,
Yeah.
where like spray tanning was like the big thing.
Yes. I
What was
think
you
it was,
did
yeah,
yeah.
it was Legally Blonde.
What was your first Broadway show?
My first Broadway show I ever saw was Pippin, actually. I was a late
The
bloomer to go to New
the
York.
the 2013 revival?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was on Broadway and it was around that year. And I went to go see it and it was incredible. It was like the year they were at the Tonys, too.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was definitely a late bloomer to go to this city. But I always, South Florida has a big theater program and different
Yeah.
theaters here that are pretty big. So, like, Wicked came here. Um, what else came here that I saw? Oh gosh, Wicked, Book of Mormon, like all the big ones that go on tour, I was able to see.
Hmm.
But I think there's something so special about Broadway, the little theaters.
Yeah.
Even when I saw Wicked, I saw Jessica Voss on
Girl,
Broadway.
we both saw Jessica Vosk on Broadway.
Like I'll never forget it. Like we
Or
are blessed.
or the it was like it was even more surreal when I got to go backstage.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like
Did I ever tell you that full story?
you told me a lot of it and sent me a picture, but I don't know if you told me anything with Jessica.
No, so I didn't meet Jess. I didn't meet her. Hannah Cornow was in the role. It was like the girl right after
Okay.
Jessica. But it's weird because Jessica knows I exist
Yeah. And that's all that
because you know all that matters. Jessica Voss knows I exist. because it was just weird. I was doing Mamma Mia. I met like a friend. We were like we went out to eat after the show, and we were just talking about favorite musicals. And I was like, I love Wicked. I'm obsessed with Wicked. And she goes, fun fact. So I'm adopted. These are my adopted parents who are in the show with me. My birth mother is the head of hair Wicked. And I fell out. I said her name. I was like, Mary Carey Yuzorski, what? And she's like,
Right.
yeah. And she goes, pick a date. We're gonna go.
I do remember you told me you had an in, and that's like the best story ever.
hmm
I love
And then
that for
like
you.
and then just like that whole day was like so surreal. It's like we were going to the city, like we bought tickets. I wasn't like, expecting to go backstage, but
Right.
I was like, okay, we'll go to the show.
Right.
And then it's just like around like 5 o'clock happens and she goes, well, let's head to the theater. I was like, well, doesn't the show start at 7? And she goes, oh honey, we're going backstage.
Were you like flipping?
I was just like, oh, okay, okay. And I was like mentally preparing as we're walking over because we're at Bryant Park. So I was like walking to the theater. And then it's like we came in through the stage door, and
What a
and
moment.
then and then we sat and like I met her and I met everyone in the hair and department and the makeup department
What a moment.
and they were telling us like crazy stories and stuff like that. And it was just like, oh, this is amazing. And then we saw the show,
Yeah.
and then she's like, okay, meet me at this door at the end. And so we went to that certain door. We didn't go through the stage. We didn't go out and go through the stage door. She like took us through like a secret passageway,
Wow.
and then that's when I got to go on the stage.
I remember that picture.
Oh,
What a moment.
I've so many. I kept it together during when I was there because I wanted to be cool. I was like I kept together. When I got home that night, I cried.
Oh, I would have as well.
I sat and cried for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, to
At
stand
like
on that stage where like Adina once stood and like all these legends
Kristen,
Chris
yeah.
with. I mean, mazel.
And then we got to meet the witches, which was
Yeah.
even crazier. And then
Oh,
go to their dressing rooms.
wow. What
And I
is
was just like, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. And I was just like, oh, the Act Two iconic black alphabet dress was on the hanger, and I was like, oh, like how heavy is it? Like, just tell me how heavy it is. I was just like asking, like how heavy is it? And she goes, well, pick it up. And so I'm like in the dressing room holding the Act Two dress in my hand. By the way, it's very heavy.
Oh wow, I can imagine. That thing is like thick.
Uh-huh. And she's like, yeah, I had to carry that on me the entire second act.
Wow.
And
What
then we
is
go to
happening?
Glenn, and then of course you go to Glinda's room and it's like totally different costumes.
Yes,
And then like
that's
she
her
greets us and
double
she's
dress.
like the girl was just like very Glinda. It might have been the one you saw because you saw it right
Amanda,
before she closed. So it might have been it might huh?
was her name Amanda?
Oh, you saw Amanda Jane Cooper. I did see Amanda, but Jenna Claire Mason was the
Okay.
Glinda at that time, and she
Uh,
comes in, braces us with a hug, and she's like, "Oh, let me, hold on," and like picks up and puts glitter temples, and she's like so Glinda, and her family was there. We met her family, and then we're
oh,
just like talking, and I like glance over. Oh, there's the popular dress next to me.
I love that for you. Oh,
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was a surreal time.
yeah, you'll never forget that.
Would you say Wicked is your favorite musical of all time?
Yeah, I would say Wicked or Waitress, just because of the meaning behind both of them.
Have you actually seen Witches like at all? Did you see like the
Yeah,
tour? That's
so
awesome.
good.
I saw it on Broadway, yeah. Because I'm so close to the city too.
Right,
I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'm like right in the middle between Philly and New York.
right. You can just go
I'm an
right.
hour, yeah, I'm an hour and a half away from Philly, except I haven't seen a lot in Philly. And then I'm 2 hours away from New York.
Okay, so it's like an easy little trip
Like
away.
I just when I go, I drive to Newark, New Jersey, hop on the train, and then I'm in.
Okay,
So yeah,
cool.
I'm very fortunate to be able to see
Yes,
lots of
it's incredible.
Broadway.
I'd be there every weekend if
And
I could.
I'm there. When COVID's not a thing, I'm there at least once a month.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
It was weird that we were there at the same time, but like we couldn't.
I know.
Our
It's so
our
crazy.
schedules didn't line up.
I know. We'll meet one day.
One day in person. So Wicked, we love Wicked. And then oh, do you have a musical theater character you identify with?
Um, I read that question. I was thinking about it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I really I think it depends. In so many senses, I feel like I can relate to Jenna so much from Waitress, and that might be why it is such a favorite musical of mine. I think Jenna doesn't realize how strong she is until she's really faced with a challenge, and then she really starts to realize her self-worth and who she is, and she learns to say no to things and start to believe in herself again. And I feel like that's very aligned with my story. So I saw a lot of
Hmm.
myself in Jenna.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, again. What shows did you do like when you were performing? I know we both intersect when we both did Catch Me If You Can.
Yes, I did do Catch Me If You Can. I was oh gosh. I was like one of the main
Dancer
people.
Girls.
Yeah, I had a few lines and solos. It was nothing crazy. I wanted Brenda so bad. And the way I'll never forget those callbacks, they had a really tall guy for Frank with a tall Brenda,
Hmm.
and then they had a short Frank with me.
With
And
you.
it was either us or them. You go in a pair, you know how that works. So that's tough.
Hmm.
But I was also in Adam's Family. I was in Seussical, Grease. That was so much fun. I was Frenchie. Uh, what else did I do? Oh my gosh, I feel like everything's like a blur. I was cast in Thoroughly Modern Millie. That was the last show I was cast in college, and then I actually had to drop it because of student teaching, and it was the saddest thing of my life to drop a show.
Mm.
My mentor teacher I was with, she was like, "You are not doing that show," and I'm just like, now that I'm a teacher in the real world, like I could absolutely still do a show over the summer, or you can still do
Hmm.
things on the weekends. People think like teaching has to be your whole life, but we are
It
also
really
human.
doesn't.
So like,
Correct. You have
but
other
yeah,
interests.
yeah, those are some of like the bigger ones that I've done in the past.
Who were you supposed to be in Melly? Just in the ensemble, or were you actually like Miss
I was,
Dorothea?
what was her name? Ruth. I think I was Ruth.
Ruth. I did a reading of that show, like, because a director, it was a new director for my middle school, and I was in high school
Uh,
at the time. He's like, "Can you come, like, read? I want to hear it out loud. Can you come do a reading?" I
oh
was
my
like,
God.
"Sure." And I played Jimmy in the reading.
Oh, that is such a great
I
role.
didn't, I didn't sing, but I
Right.
didn't sing it because I just like read the script. It's like, "Hello, Millie."
Yeah, I love that show. It's like very New York and like I could do the accents. I just was not a strong tapper, so like there's no way I could be Millie.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I didn't get to learn to tap till I got to college.
Yeah, it's hard. And tapping in
Hmm.
character shoes is like no joke with a little
Oh my
heel.
gosh. Yeah. Well, when I choreographed Gypsy, they had to tab in heels, and I was
Yeah,
like, "I'm gonna suffer with you when I put on heels."
you put them on. That is
Yeah,
dedication.
yeah, because that's like my thing. I was like, if I'm gonna make you wear heels, I'm gonna suffer with you, and I'll
Yeah,
put heels on.
go you.
Yes. All right. So that wraps up our little interview, Britt.
Oh my gosh, this was so fun. And I love our
Yes.
backgrounds. I just feel like we're like
Yes.
so cozy and festive and fun.
Bring in some holiday cheer. I have one thing to show you before
Oh, please
we
do.
end this interview. Can you see who's on my sweater?
My best. Oh my gosh.
It's a Schitt's Creek sweater
Where
for
did you
you.
get that?
I got it on Etsy.
That is so cute. Oh, I love Schitt's Creek.
Yes. All right. Where can people follow you, Britt?
So I'm at 5'1" teacher, and my nonprofit is called the Unbreakable Org.
Awesome. So yeah, thanks, Britt.
Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.